It's good, black family. This is Blacknificence coming black at you once again with some more, news and thoughts and views coming straight from me. Uh, lately it's like a lot of coconuts, if you know what I mean, rolling around all online. And on a Facebook, page, Black in Public, Black Out Loud, and Black on Purpose. When they show, the NYP, like a dude, white dude holding up a sign saying, stop killing black men, or he may be white, what have you. Now, of course, one of the first things you see is the same old adage of, well, blacks are killing blacks already, so they're told. Like the fig leaf argument, we gonna try to hide a bigger problem with, another problem. Not saying black on black crime isn't serious. It's just that the same motherfuckers who come and bitch, ironically, never make their own post about it. They always come on a post where it shows, a cop or somebody other than black killing a black person, right? And then people get upset and shit. But for some reason, when you ask them, so where's your post about black on black crime? They have none. They have none at all. Like the argument is fucking old and played out because it's like Malcolm X said, "Who taught you to hate yourself?" Right? Then you got idiots that'll say, "Oh well, well I ain't seen no white people kill my like. Do you not understand racism, white supremacy? That the system has evolved so much, in the past 500 or so years, that it doesn't need. They don't have to come right out and kill you. No, they'll just bombard your dumb ass, your children, which probably isn't their fault. Too much their fault. They're slow as fuck. Because if they have a slow parent like you, then you get what I mean. Like, hey, you just passed the bullshit down. But yeah, like they just bombard you with images of self hatred, or which you probably wouldn't perceive as self hatred at first, because you say, oh, it's only entertainment, not knowing that your subconscious mind picks up a lot of shit that your conscious mind doesn't. Then sometimes you'll be wondering why you're hungry, or why you feel this kind of way, or why you hate that, or all of a sudden your mannerisms are different and shit. It's because your subconscious mind picks up on stuff. It's like when you travel to another area, whether it be another part of the world or just another state, and they talk different. And usually, sometimes people's dialects style from a different area. When they visit a new area, after a while of being there, that dialects start changing a little bit to match the person in the area because they've been around it so long. It's like reluctantly mimicking or basically assimilating in, not trying to put a bad connotation on that. Shit just happens, some shit you can't avoid. It just really does happen. But this bullshit here is like, the first thing they do is come on and say, well, blacks are killing blacks and blacks, black. Why I never see you niggas up in arms about it. And the funny thing is, there's so many of these people, so I guess they don't see each other, or they don't, you know how to start a group of their own or a movement of their own that bitch about this. Because the first, oh well, it's okay. You trying to say it's okay when a black person kill a black person, when a white person kill a black person? Oh, it's all like matter. You should be up in arms considering the history. Both cases, you should be up in arms, especially when when a black person kill a black person, they're most likely gonna be convicted. When it's the other way around, should we go back to the cases like Oscar Grant, Sean Bell, and stuff like that, Amadou Diallo, and Rakia Boyd? Should we have to rehash those and show why? Like like sometimes some things, some bad things, how can I explain this? Okay, if I shoot you in the head, that's really really bad. But if I just smack you in the mouth, that's bad too. But which bad action outweighs another bad action? I'm pretty sure me holding a loaded weapon and probably blowing your face off, if not your brains out, is worse than me smacking you in the mouth. But people are too stupid, you know, to try and see things like that. Instead, they want to mesh everything in the same old field of equalness when not everything is as such. Well, getting on. Got some stories to read you. This one, it's not gonna be a new instance of anything. It's gonna be the same old thing, but different. A little bit difference. All right, here we go. Bear with me. All right. NYPD captain told officers to treat black people like animals. Like, we already know, you know. I don't know if they had to be told this. Since if you're in NYC, if you ever been to NYC, you see the people that come and police the neighborhoods that don't live nowhere near there. So basically, to them, it's like coming into the quote unquote jungle. And since the massive wave of gentrification is taking over, now they have come to get the animals out of the jungle by any means necessary. But alright, let me read a little bit. Racism exposed and discrimination lawsuit. Considering their behavior and tactics over the last 20 years, this isn't much of a surprise, but it has been revealed that the NYPD, New York Police Department, officers are trained and instructed to treat black people like animals. Just like, I don't know if you ever watched TYT, and they showed how, the training courses where the cops were basically told the terrorists, they're coming to take your women, they're gonna implement Sharia law and Muslim extremists. Yeah, it's straight propaganda like that. But some of our people are too fucking retarded to understand things like this that actually happen. Instead, they'll say idiotic things like, it's not about color anymore, we're all enslaved now. Like, if you shook your head any harder, it'll come off. It's, and that's the only other thing you can actually do, as a not putting your hands on that person for saying something that fucking ridiculous and actually believing that shit. But let's go on. The revelation comes in the midst of a federal discrimination lawsuit filed by Detective Deborah Lawson, who claims that minority group members in her unit were passed over for good assignments and career advancement. So I guess they were told, no, you don't get to harass this group of people today, except I have some nice desk work for you. 3 officers, one a retired high-ranking detective from the Firearm Suppression Unit, testified that Captain James Cone and Lieutenant Daniel Davin created a hostile environment for both their black detectives and suspected minority group gun traffickers. Alright. Let's go down. Hold on. There we go. The Daily News reports Davin used the N-word to address black suspects, while Cone considered the unit's minority group targets almost subhuman. The disposition indicate, quote, Captain Cone would tell the field team they are fucking animals. I'm not even going to, go dash or effing. Let's be real about it. They are fucking animals. You make sure if you have to shoot, you shoot them in the head. That way there's one story. End quote, said the retired detective. The ex-cop, identified only as undercover 7988, said Cone's racist rant came before every search warrant executed in Brooklyn, Brownsville, Bedford-Stuyvesant, and East New York from 2008 to 2010, right? I'm pretty sure before that, but this is only from his instance. Quote, they didn't care if it was kids in there. They didn't care if it was women in there. Naked women. End quote. The detective said, quote, they treated them as if they had no rights whatsoever. It was disgusting. End quote. Another officer who testified claims that in 2005 he walked into an apartment where he heard Davin telling officers, quote, if you have to shoot a nigga, well, I'm not even gonna say nigga, if you have to shoot a nigger, do what you gotta do, end quote. Cohen has denied making such comments. Of course he did, you know. The motherfuckers is only tough in packs, and if they have a piece of metal and another piece of metal that can shoot projectiles out of it, like, hey, I'm pretty sure if he gets backing, like, you know, that piece of shit Zimmer shit did, then he'll go, oh yes, I fucking killed the nigger. Yeah, that was one, right? Now, of course, this is for all you motherfuckers who just love to claim how black people go wild all the goddamn time. Yeah, 'cause nobody else goes wild, and for some odd reason, you know, when we quote unquote riot, the shit gets played to death. When non-black people quote unquote riot, you really have to search for that shit. But all right, Europe, and you know, funny enough, in these, you know, non-black riots, no one ever really gets killed unless they get hit in the head with like a tear gas can or get accidentally trampled over. Other than that, they get like, you know, massive bruises from bean bags and pellet and rubber bullets and shit and pellets. Ironic, isn't it? Oh, can't even say that. Funny, right? Euro 2012 violence among Polish and Russian fans could prompt changes by UEFA and FIFA. The most widespread case of soccer hooliganism for more than 2 decades erupted between fans of Poland and Russia on Tuesday, and the incident has prompted the sport's two biggest governing bodies to order an investigation that may change the way major tournaments are organized. Mind you, motherfuckers been doing this shit for years. Like, you know, I think Penn State. Matter of fact, I think I got some on there. I'll pull that up after I do this. Or I'll do like, you know, a two-part video so this one isn't too long. So I'll read the rest of this, then I'll do another video. Because, you know, some people's attention spans are long, some people's attention spans are short. I'm going to try to find a middle ground, hopefully. Alright. In the hours leading up to a one-to-one draw between the two teams in Group A of Euro 2012, hundreds of fans fought bloody battles with fists, bottles, and metal weapons on the streets of the Polish capital Warsaw, as riot police firing rubber bullets and releasing tear gas tried to keep them apart. Rubber bullets. But motherfuckers is going wild, right? But if you gotta shoot a nigger in the head, do what you gotta do. A series of factors combined to make this the highest risk match of the championship in terms of fan violence, as highlighted by Yahoo Sports on Monday. Unfortunately, violence transpired, although officials claim only 10 people have been seriously injured. Onlookers estimate that figure to be much lower than they observed. Alright. The disgraceful scene, the likes of which soccer hope were the thing of the past, will prompt an immediate response from both UEFA, the European governing body that is organizing the tournament, and FIFA, the international overseer of all things soccer. A wide-ranging investigation into Tuesday's event has already begun in conjunction with Polish police, anti-hooliganism agencies from both nations, and Euro 2012 security bosses. Once the tournament is over, the same group of FIFA and UEFA officials will consider ways to avoid a repeat of clashes that overshadow the on-field action. Excuse me, on day 5 of the tournament. So yes, you know, when you have the complexion for the protection, you can do anything you want, and the best you're gonna do is get a rubber bullet. When you don't, oh, they're naked, Johnson. Do what you gotta do. I'll put these links in the description, and I'll see you at the second half of this video.